Hello everybody, hope you all are fine. Okay, so today we are going to start with the continuation of chapter 7, that is fundamental rights and duties. So in the last class we were doing fundamental rights. Today we'll start with fundamental duties. And fundamental rights are what? We'll just in a few minutes we'll just recap. Fundamental rights are the rights that are that a normal citizen of India has. We should know our own right. Otherwise, people can make a fool of us. Okay, they can deceive us. So, fundamental rights are very important. That we studied in the last class. Now, today we are going to study fundamental duties. Duties means what are we supposed to do? What is our duty? Okay, every person has some duty to do at school, at home. Okay, similarly, our constitution also gives us some points for us to consider as our duty towards our nation. Right? So there is a small exercise which is there in your textbook, which I'm also going to share in the PPT. Just for this thing I'm showing you. Make a list of rules to be followed at home and in school. Okay, because at home also we have certain duties to be followed. Fine, we have certain duties, our parents have laid down certain duties for us. Okay, in the same manner at school also we have some duties to be followed. Like for example at home, that we have to get up at 6 a.m. Okay, we should finish our homework on time, we should keep our books and everything are according to the timetable, we should have our lunch or dinner at so and so time, or we should reach home before 10 o'clock. Okay, so these are all certain rules laid down by our parents for us, so that there is no chaos. Similarly at school also, okay, that we have to be punctual to school, we have to finish our homework and submit the homework on time. Fine, we should come in proper school uniform, we should be disciplined. These are all our duties that we need to follow. These are all the rules laid down by the school, and it is our duty to follow those rules. Similarly, we have certain duties towards our nation also, towards our country also. So such duties which every citizen of India has to perform is called as fundamental duties. Fundamental means what? Basic duties. Very basic duties which everybody has to follow. It is not very tough to follow such duties. Everybody should follow these basic duties that are laid down by our constitution for us. It is every citizen's every citizen has to follow such duties. Okay, so we are going to study about the fundamental duties today. Fine. So in the textbook also we have, I'm just going to share the screen. I'll show you a PPT so that you can and keep your books open. We are on page number 65. Okay, fundamental duties. I hope you all can see the screen. Okay, so this is the chapter, the continuation of the chapter. As I told you, this was the list. As I told you, you can do it in your notebook also as and when you get time. Make a list of rules to be followed at home. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 rules that is formulated for you at home. Similarly, in school, what are the rules to be followed in school? You all must be knowing it, but still jot it down so that you know that certain rules are there to be followed everywhere, wherever we are. Fine. So this is the thing that I was talking about, which is there in your textbook also. The fundamental duties. Now let us see what are our fundamental duties as a citizen. See, in the textbook also it is given fundamental rights and duties. They are interlinked. We all know our rights. Okay, that what is right and what is wrong, and what are the things that we need to follow. What is our right? Okay, what is our right? Right means hak. Understood in Hindi? Hak. So what are the fundamental rights of a citizen we have studied? Okay, but unless and until we follow, we know those rights, and unless and until we do these duties, it's of no use just writing it down somewhere. Understood? It is our duty to follow these fundamental duties or the rules that is formulated for us, and only then our rights, we can call about, we can actually ask about our rights. So they are like the two sides of a coin. Understood? They are like the two sides of a coin. They are interlinked. Fine. Now, what is the first fundamental duty of a citizen? The first fundamental duty is to respect our constitution and follow the rules. Okay, follow the rules, respect our constitution. We have already studied what is constitution. These are the rules laid down for us citizens by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. We have studied it in the last chapter, and there were other many council members also along with him who formulated those rules. Fine, that is the first fundamental duty. We have to follow the rules that is written in that. Second one is we must protect the sovereignty, the integrity, and the unity of our nation. Unity means we all know ekta. Okay, we should be together come what may. Okay, second is sovereignty. Sovereignty means what? That we have the authority to govern ourselves. No foreign countries are going to govern us. We have the right, we have the authority to govern ourselves. Sovereignty. Integrity means what? Integrity means that you should be honest. We should be honest. We should with strong moral principles. Okay, we should be true to ourselves. Fine. So that we must protect that particular nature of us. Third is we must cooperate with the government in maintaining peace in the country. If government is telling us, like for example right now also the COVID period is going on, the government has laid down certain rules for us that don't go out on Saturdays and Sundays. It is complete lockdown, should not go out without a mask. Okay, so it is our duty also to follow those, because why are they laying down principles for us? Why are they laying down such rules for us? So that we are safe. So unless and until we follow it, how will we be safe? And if we are not safe, if we are getting the infection and then we are blaming the government, then that is not right, no? Okay, so it is our duty to cooperate with the government, to cooperate with them. Whatever they are saying, it is for our benefit. So just trust in them. Just trust them and follow whatever they are telling us, the rules that are being followed, that are being laid for us. Okay. So only then we'll have peace in the country. Next is we must not damage our national property. National property means the property that is, India's rich. India is very rich in heritage and culture and everything. The property of the nation means everything, right from a park, children's park where you all play, right from there onwards, your school bus, everything comes under national property. Everything is those nations. Understood? Similarly, all the monuments that we have, Taj Mahal, Qutub Minar, and all those, people go and can you go and scribble on that? You cannot. You should not. Understood? Can we put garbage anywhere we want? We cannot, and we should not. Okay. In the same manner, we should not waste water. We should not put garbage anywhere where we feel like. We should protect the forest. The next point is that only that we must preserve our natural environment. Natural environment means everything that is around us, like the forest, the environment around us. Okay, the rivers, the wildlife, the vegetation, whatever plants, everything. Okay, flowers. Sometimes you must have seen small, notification written notices here and there that you should not pluck flowers from this garden, because that is the beauty of it. If you pluck flowers and throw it here and there, the beauty will be lost. Understood? So all these small things we can all follow. Understood? It is not a very tough job to follow small rules. Fine. But in following these small rules, we'll remain integrated, we'll remain united. Understood? So that is why it's necessary to follow these rules. Okay, let's go to the next slide. The fundamental duties ka next slide. Fundamental duties. Again, we must respect all religion because it will promote harmony in the country. We should not say that I am a Hindu or you are a Muslim or you are a Christian or you are a minority, I am a majority. You should not. Understood? All religions are equally important. Every religion is teaching us something. Understood? So we should not give importance to certain religion and no importance to certain religion. Every religion is equally important, and people who are following those religion, for them those religions are really very important. So we should pay respect to all the religions. Only then there will be harmony or there will be peace in the country. Fine. Next point, we must be always ready to defend our nations from enemies. If there is an enemy attack, if there is an attack from in between, there was a lot of tension at the India-China border. Okay, the whole nation was one. Like whatever language we speak, whatever religion we follow, but when it comes to nation, we should be together to fight against our enemy. Understood? At that time, we should not say that I am a Hindu, you are a Muslim, you go first, you go first. You cannot. Everybody should be together in handling our enemies. Fine. Otherwise, what will happen? The enemies will attack us. If we are only divided, if we are only not united, then the enemies can easily attack us. So we should be united so that we can easily attack the enemy, or we can easily defend ourselves. Understood? Next, we must value our rich culture and heritage. Our culture, Indian culture, dates back to centuries old. Our culture is fine. Similarly, our heritage, all the monuments, all the parks, all the all the statues that we are preserving them. Okay, so many things are there with us that we are preserving, and that should be always preserved and it should be valued. We should always tell others if they are trying to spoil it. We should be able to tell them that this is not right, this is your own country and you should be able to preserve them. We must respect the rights of others. Whatever rights others have, we should respect their rights. We have already studied fundamental rights, fine, and we should respect the rights of others. Understood? So that is the next slide telling us. The next one is about the directive principles. Now, as we have certain, we have certain rights to be followed. We know our rights, we know our duties. Okay, there are certain rules formulated for us. Similarly, there are certain rules formulated by the constitution also for the government. Understood? Like government also is what? People, ministers. Understood? Now these ministers have to also follow certain rules, which is also there in the constitution. Okay, we cannot say that just because we have power, we are elected now, we are the ministers, we have power. That does not mean that you should not follow the principles or the list of rules. They also have to follow certain rules, which is also written in the constitution. Such principle, such principles are called as directive principles. Like look at the first sentence in the textbook. Also directive principles are given on page number 66. You can keep your textbooks open as we are doing this. Okay, you can pause the video, study what is written on the slide, listen to what I am saying about the explanation of that particular point, and read that particular point so that you understand it. Fine. So we are on page number 66 doing directive principles. So directive principles are what? They are the guidelines to be followed by the government for the welfare of the people. Okay, such guidelines or such rules that is formulated for the government by the constitution is called as directive principles. So this constitution is not partial. It is not partial towards a certain community, towards a certain religion, towards somebody, ministers, or towards some. It is not like that. Constitution is it is fair enough. It is it creates guidelines for everybody equally, for everybody equally. Are you getting? These principles should be kept in mind by the state while formulating laws and policies. These principles should be kept in mind by the state while formulating laws and policies. Fine. So these principles should be always kept in mind before they make any law for the people, because it is these laws are for the government. So government should always keep in mind these points before they start making policies or laws for the people. Is that clear? Okay. The next one, under the next slide for under directive principles, minimize inequalities in the income and status of the people. Okay, there should be inequalities, should be not there. It should not be there at all. Inequality means किसी को you are getting, certain people are getting more money for certain thing, they are getting their status is more, their income is more, and the people who are doing the same job, just because they are of a different community, they are getting less income or less their status is less. That should not happen. It should be equal for all. Second is secure right to adequate means of livelihood. Adequate means of livelihood means, just a second, I'll just open this, 1 second. Okay, adequate means of secure right to adequate means of livelihood for all the citizens means all citizens should have something or the other, some or the other work they should have, so that they can earn some money. Understood? And they should get enough amount of money so that they can have food and water and shelter. That much at least should be provided to everybody. Okay. Next is provide free legal aid to the poor. Okay, already we are having this BPL card and all, below poverty line for those children. We are having BPL card. Okay, what is this card for? Those who show that card, they will get many things for free. Like electricity, they have to pay a very small amount. Water is free for them. Okay, and similarly, they get ration also. They get when they show their ration card, they get ration also for very less amount of money. Understood? They have to pay very less, and they get wheat and rice and kerosene and sugar and all those things they get for very meager amount, very small amount. Okay, so that is legal for providing aid to the poor. Provide employment opportunities to the poor. Okay, wherever, whenever possible, provide opportunities to them so that whatever skill they have, according to their skill, because everybody, you need not be very educated, you still might be having some skill in you. Understood? So to utilize that skill, they should be given some opportunity, job opportunity, so that by using that skill, the person will become confident also, and they'll be able to earn money also. Understood? So in this way, they should be helped out. Okay. The next point is on the next slide. Organize village panchayats as units of self-government. You can see this picture. Okay, this picture is showing that there is a sarpanch. Okay, you can see this lady. Okay, she is giving out certain, and you can see these. There are so many other people also sitting over there, and there are citizens over here. Means the villagers also sitting next to them. Now, what is the main purpose of having such meetings or such village panchayats? The main purpose is the if there is a problem with anybody, understood, or if something is going wrong in that particular community in a village, then there are peoples like the panch. Okay, we say the panchayat, village panchayat people who are there in the village panchayat, the members of village panchayat, they will hold a meeting, they will call everybody, and they will tell like what is going on, how can this be sorted out, okay, what is the solution to this problem. They will ask everybody's opinion, and they will finally come to a conclusion. Understood? So in this manner, you can sort out your own problems. Self government means you are self on your own, you are coming out with solution, and then finally implementing that solution, following that particular solution, so that that problem does not exist anymore. And the last point is promote cottage industries. Cottage industries are what? They are small scale industries, which mainly is done from home only. Because many people are skilled people. They can make potteries, they can make mats and other things with the raw material of certain plants. They can make brooms, broomsticks. Okay, they can make so many mats. They can make doormat and other things. They can make flower pots and potteries and other things. They can sculptures. They can make. Many people are skilled. Understood? They can make cotton also. They can weave the cloth also. Many people are there who are very skilled in that. So these are all small. They can make daily household items like papad and pickles and all those things. Okay, so these are all small industries which work from home. People, some people are very skilled in doing these things, so we should promote them, and their whatever they are producing, it should be sold off in the cities and towns so that they can earn money. Okay, so these are all cottage industries, very small scale industries which function from home only. Okay, because people are skilled, people have time, so they can easily utilize their time, and they can start a business with a small amount of money, because they don't need much amount of money for cottage industries. Okay, and they have their house. Okay, they have their house also, so they don't need extra space, and they are already skilled, so they don't have to keep any employees. They are themselves the employees. Understood? So small jobs, small what do you call, businesses can be started from home itself. Okay, such industries are called as cottage industries. So in villages and all, we should promote cottage industries so that people are self dependent. They don't have to depend on anybody for money. Okay, these are all the directive principles. This is the last slide that I have. Okay, so these are all the directive principles. uh, I'm stopping the sharing part, okay? So these are all the directive principles that is given in the book. That is the last topic here. Okay. So I hope you have understood what are your rights and what are the duties that we have to perform in our country. For every citizen, it is important. It is not only for a certain community, but for everybody who is living in this country. These rights are for everybody, and these duties everybody has to follow. Okay. I hope you have understood the chapter. I have already uploaded the question answers under Adonai app. Okay, today you will be getting it. Fine. So you can start writing down the notes. Okay, have a good day. Thank you.